Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Ipswich Central Redevelopment Committee this 12th day of October 2023. I look around the room and I see all councillors in attendance. There's no apologies today. I'll move straight into the acknowledgement of country. Ipswich City Council respectfully acknowledges the traditional owners as custodians of the land and waters we share. We pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging as the keepers of the traditions, customs, cultures and stories of proud people. Do any members have any declarations of interest in matters on the agenda today? No? We have nil business outstanding, so we'll move on to item 1, which is confirmation of the minutes of the Ipswich Central Redevelopment Committee from the 5th of September 2023. I will move that. Could I have a seconder, please? Thank you, Councillor Kunzelman. The recommendation that the minutes be confirmed. There's nothing further. We'll put that to the vote. All those in favour? Noting that's unanimous and carried. Moving along to item number 2, which is confirmation of the minutes of the special meeting from the 14th of September 2023. And the recommendation being that those minutes be confirmed. Could I have, thank you, Councillor, thank you, Deputy Mayor, and a seconder. Thank you, Councillor Kunzelman. Anyone have any questions, any issues? No? We'll put that matter to the vote then. All those in favour? Noting that's unanimous and carried. Moving on to the first of the officers' reports, item 3, the Nicholas Street Precinct September 2023 Retail Sub-Project Steering Committee report. Could I have the relevant council officer come forward, please? If you could just state your name, please.
Good afternoon, councillors, Mayor. James Hepburn, Nicholas Street Precinct Director.
Thank you, Mr Hepburn. Could I just get a quick status update on the leases that we previously approved? I know we've announced Ausetica, but very separately to that we had those other few that went through. Have they been executed? When do you think we'll be in a position to announce?
No, they've not yet been executed. And I'll take, without mentioning the names of the tenants at this stage, I'll just take each 4 of them and give you a quick update.
Thank you.
3 of those were commercial office leases, of which on all 3, all documents have been issued to the other party's solicitors, and they're currently working through the final drafts before we get close to execution. What I will say is that of all 3 of them now, they've completed their assessment of the properties, the understanding of the landlord works and what fit outs they're going to undertake.
Okay, thank you, Mr Hepburn. And can I just get a more detailed update in relation to the Commonwealth Hotel?
Yep. Over the last couple of months, the Commonwealth Hotel has come to completion on its groundworks. So essentially, a lot of the noisy works, substructure, and just preparing it for its next phase of life has been completed. As we'll see from the windows of this building, hutchies are now beginning to come out of the ground, where they are starting on the extension, apologies, not refurbishment, the extension to the historic building, out the back, away from the front facade, and then leading on into the car park, which is currently their site yard. So over the next couple of months, we're going to see some really big changes. And we're going to see steel structure come out of the ground as now the concrete slab is all settled. And you'll start to see this multi-layered building take place. Finally, as we get into Christmas and early part of next year, you'll see it starting to become weatherproof with the roofing come on.
Given the heritage importance of the Commonwealth Hotel to the city and the significant amount of works that have been undertaken so far, I assume Hutchison Builders are very capable and will be, ensuring the integrity of the main building as they progress through building the extension. Are there any particular issues that
No,
Is
no,
that
not that
risks?
we're aware of. Hutchinson are, they're one of the best builders in the country, and they've got plenty of experience in integrating, heritage, historic buildings into new.
Okay, thank you. Mayor, did you have any questions?
If I may, Chair, obviously at our last meeting you missed all the excitement because you were in Sydney with the signing of 4 leases. But do you mind telling us a bit about the retail property marketplace that you attended in Sydney and how that went? And
Yes, of course. It
what
was
that is.
part of our campaign to relaunch the brand Nicholas Street to industry. Nicholas Street is well known in Ipswich, and it's got a great relationship with the consumer as it continues to build and grow with the events and the opening of new tenancies. If we go back probably 6 months, we set about changing our leasing consultants and then thinking of how we approach the market afresh. This was just part of that strategy. Colliers and myself represented Ipswich and Nicholas Street down in Sydney. We also partnered with Yamanto Central and JMK Retail, who are a landlord based out in Toowoomba but own a number of local assets. So together we went down to represent the region, and we were surrounded by the country's biggest and most prominent retail landlords. So it was really good company to be in for Ipswich. It gave us access to hundreds of brands that we wouldn't normally have had access to. It also gave us the ability to explain to people really about what population growth means to us in our catchment and why opening a new shop or a tenancy within Ipswich is actually a really exciting thing to do and a good place for them to look at new business.
Okay. I guess, is this part of a new marketing push because we do have new leasing agents?
Well, yeah, we had a leasing agent representing us, but we actually just let things settle, and Colliers came on board about 7 weeks ago now, and since then we've seen a massive push in the number of interactions with potential tenants, as well as deals coming through. So already we have probably 4 or 5 other retail deals that are in negotiations for heads of agreement, and even this week we've seen. We've had 5 different viewings of spaces within Nicholas Street, and next week again we've probably got somewhere in the region of 5 to 8 other viewings coming on board.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions for Mr. Hepburn? No? Thank you. So the recommendation before us is that the September 2023 Retail Sub-Project Steering Committee report be received and the contents noted. Could I have a mover, please? Thank you, Councillor Kunzelman, and a seconder. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Any further discussion?
I think, Chair, I was just going to note that obviously with the cinema, Hoyts, and obviously all the opportunities opening up in the venue building, as well as obviously new leasing agents, we're seeing recently a new brochure and just new marketing and more marketing for the precinct as we look at it opening up more with the hotel and the cinema. So it's good to see that marketing happening.
Yeah, I agree, and it's great having our new leasing agents on board, but I just want to take the opportunity to acknowledge the Nicholas Street precinct team within council, because it was they that were really flying the flag and creating that opportunity for Ipswich City Council and the Nicholas Street precinct down at the retail property marketplace in Sydney. So it just goes to show what enormous capability we have here within our NSP team. There's nothing further. Put the matter to the vote. All those in favour, noting that's unanimous and carried. Moving on to item 4, which is the repeal of previous council decision regarding the surrender of an existing lease and a new lease to the Australian Red Cross. Would anyone like to ask the relevant council officer any questions? No? Okay. Noting we have recommendations A through to E. Could I have a mover, please, for those recommendations? Thank you, councillor Kunzelman, and a seconder. Thank you, Mayor Harding. Any discussion? No? Okay, we'll put the matter to the vote. All those in favour? Noting that's unanimous and carried. That's the last of the items on the agenda today. We have no notices of motion and nil matters arising. Noting that the meeting is closing at 2:34 and council's special meeting will commence in 10 minutes' time, 2:45. Thank you.